Welcome to episode 255 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It is Saturday's episode, people, but as ever, I'm running late. It is Saturday's episode, but it is Sunday the 8th of January, 2023. Let's get all that over and done with. Yeah, I'm sorry, people. I've been a busy boy. I've been trying to fucking nail down some new material that I'm going to be trying at gigs. I've got a load of new material nights booked in just to try and get it up to speed this month. And I spent all day yesterday writing like a good boy, living those resolutions, people, here at Briggs Towers. Yeah, so I did that, and then all today I've been getting fucking shitty jobs done. Cleaning my car that was just, It took me 3.5 hours to clean my car today, people. I left it too long, far too long, to try and reasonably clean it quickly. It was just the amount of shit out there on the roads. I don't know what goes on in winter. I know there's like fucking salt on the roads and all that sort of shit. But it got to the stage where my windscreen looked like somebody had painted round where the wipers go. It was just, I couldn't see, I could only see out where the wipers go. Everywhere else was completely blanked out. I've got a camera on the back of the car for reversing. Couldn't see anything out of that. The number plate at the back you could barely read. So I thought it was time to give the old wagon a fucking clean, baby. I do quite enjoy that. I've said this before on the podcast. There is something very, very, very therapeutic about cleaning a car. It's out there. Innit? Fuck these medications for depression. Get out there, clean your fucking car, have a little bit of a think, be alone with your thoughts, if that's your thing. I don't know. That's my therapy. That is cleaning shit. I don't know. I'm obsessed with fucking cleaning shit. I've got issues, man. Serious issues. Anyway, let's I'm going to have a bit of tea before we kick this podcast off today. Hopefully this may be sounding a little bit better as well. I know I keep obsessing. That's another thing I keep obsessing about. When you get into your 40s, you realise you're actually pretty fucked up. All these quirky things that you think you had when you were in your 20s. Any 20-year-olds out there at the minute. All those quirky things that you've got that make you different, they're not quirks. They are serious issues that if you drag through to your 40s, you will be constantly explaining to people. I don't know. Anyway, talking of mental health issues, it is 11 o'clock at night. If you are still up now, you are clearly mental. No, that's not where I was going with that, people. I have just watched people on ITV, the interview with Prince Harry, which is it's fascinating watching, isn't it? Having this open window now that Prince Harry has turned into a fucking grass and a blabbermouth, isn't he? Now he's turned states, as they would say in America. It's fascinating watching all of this unfold. Part of me, as an Englishman, here we go. A Englishman. You know, I see myself as British, but I'm, you know, when it comes to sporting events or anything like that, we're definitely English, aren't we? Well, people from England, anybody else, Scotland. You know, it's definitely split up, isn't it? We're all British together in the Olympics. We all fucking love each other. We don't give a fuck. When it comes to the World Cup, fuck off, you fucking Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish, whatevers. Isn't it? We all get a bit territorial. But as an English guy, as I am an English guy, watching all this unfold. Part of me is fascinated by it, but also part of me thinks he needs to fucking button his trap. Show a bit of the old stiff upper lip. Yeah, not all of us, we all had difficult childhoods, Harry, yeah? Button it, bury that shit deep down. Been fucking hanging around with Americans too long, mates, ain't ya? But it is fascinating watching it, like gradually watching the royal family turn into the fucking Kardashians. That's basically it, isn't it? That's basically what's happening. Live everything out there. How many more interviews as well can he do? They did the one with Oprah, didn't they? They had the 6-part special. Never done a fucking open mic night in his fucking life, and he gets handed a 6-part special on Netflix. Never told a fucking joke. Never written a joke in his fucking life, man. You see, that's the privileged for you. I want to see where what Meghan's family feel about this. Are they going to have a spin-off series, sort of like they did like the Cleveland show for for Family Guy? Are they going to have a spin-off series with Meghan's family where they interview all of those as well, and then people just commenting on the interviews that Harry and Meghan do? This is going to run forever, people, isn't it? The interview this week is, it was on ITV, and it's clearly to, obviously to advertise the book that he's got coming out. Harry Spare, it's called, which in itself is a bit bleak. It's a bit of a bleak. That obviously refers to the fact that, you have, as the royal family, you have a spare and an heir. So you have the heir, then you have a spare, just in case anything fucking horrendous, barring car crashes in Paris, anything horrendous happens to the heir. So you've got like a backup. And then if nothing does happen to the heir, then the backup is just left sort of like contemplating what they do for the rest of their life, I imagine. They're defined by the fact that their sibling is still alive. And oddly enough, with all this at stake, whether you're the King of England or not the King of England, there seems to be some sort of rivalry that's built up between them. Who'd have thought that fucker? Eh? Who saw that fucker coming? So yeah, this is the interview was basically another. There's also something. It's very interesting, sort of like watching the comments on Twitter and things like that. When it comes to things like like big interviews, everybody's like anything these days. Everything is split down the fucking middle with it. You've either got people abhorring what is said, or people just trying to champion him as some sort of fucking hero. So you've got that aspect to it. You've got like everything is either everybody's either on one side or the other side. There's no sort of like grey area in between, it seems. In the reactionary world that we live in these days. And everybody's got to have their fucking opinion on it. But one thing with regards to that, it just, I don't know how many they can keep doing. How many revelations is he keeping back for a second book? That's what that's all you're thinking now, isn't it? Because they've done the Oprah thing, they've done the Netflix thing, and he's doing one on his own now. I imagine Meghan's going to do one on her own. That's another spin-off. And then possibly, how far is it going to go down? Is it going to be like the footman who overheard an argument between William and Harry once? He gets his own fucking spin-off series. They'll have like the corgis. They may have heard something in the background as they're pissing up a tree. So they're smacked in front of a camera. I don't know, man. It just seems there is a British thing about me though. an English thing about me, who just, I find it uncomfortable people sharing their emotions. Yeah, I said it out there, people. Yeah, it's 2023, people. I said it out there. I said it. I find it fucking uncomfortable, people sharing too much. It just makes me fucking knotted up inside. I begin to think, oh, fuck. What can I say here that's going to end this conversation in the briefest amount of time possible without coming off as cold and heartless? You tell me what I need to say. That's what, isn't it? Like, that's what I'm thinking when somebody says that to me. When somebody goes in too deep or shares too much or gets too emotional with me, I just fucking clam up inside. Yeah, I know that's an issue. Well, that's your issue, Ben, isn't it? You want to be more open to things. I fucking know that. I fucking know that. But it still doesn't stop the fact. It's like when you ask somebody how they are. You see somebody you haven't seen someone for ages. You ask them how they are. Hey, how you doing? You all right? And then they insist on fucking telling you. And you feel like going, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's take a fucking time out here, buddy. I don't think you're aware of the etiquette under these circumstances, yeah? What I say, how are you? You say, I'm all right, mate, how are you? I say, yes, I'm great. We fucking move on with our lives, baby. That's it. We don't go into a fucking hour's conversation about various relatives that have died, ailments you've got, money problems, marriage problems, your weird kid who's fucking, burning fucking the great crested newt at weekends when he goes out with his friends at the weekend. I don't know where that reference came from, people, either. I just wanted to think of an animal that was fucking in danger. And that's the first fucker that came to me. Yeah, nobody wants to hear any of that shit. Jesus. You throw me a curveball there, baby. All I want to do is get on with my day, right? I want to feel good about myself. Hey, so I can say, hey, I saw fucking Gary the other weekend. How's he doing? Yeah, he seems all right. He's great. I don't want to be reporting that to somebody going, I saw Gary the other day. Yeah, every one of his family's been wiped out and he's fucking debt-ridden and single because his wife left him. Nobody wants to hear that shit, and it feels a little bit like that a little bit now. People are getting fucking tired of it. With Prince Harry, I think. No Meghan in this interview. It's just Harry looking stern, concerned at times. The guy gave him a little bit of shit as well. I'm going to need the interviewer, which is, but he even introduced the fact, I'm not going to give you an easy ride here. All right, fucking hell, Right, let's have a bit of tea. Hang on. So the guy gave him a little bit of shit. Everybody in the Royals must be on edge now since the Prince Andrew interview. If that was fucking Prince Andrew, he'd have just bowled in there. Hey, this is no sweat, baby. Ask me anything you want to do. I'll fucking make up some weird lies. High five on the way out. I thoroughly do. I thoroughly am invested in this whole story, though. I like it. Just the. I don't know. It's just where it's going to end up, If I was him, I wouldn't go to Paris on holiday. That's all I'm saying. History has a tendency to repeat itself, and I wouldn't do that. I just, it just seems like at one stage, it just seems like a petty sort of like fucking family argument. Somebody's wife doesn't get on with somebody else's wife. Oddly enough, the two brothers who are in competition with each other, they get married to women who are both fucking hot. And oddly enough, these two hot women who are now in competition with each other don't really get on. Holy shit. How did that ever happen? That's never happened in the history of women. There's a little bit of resentment between the two. Two women in competition with each other and there's resentment between them. Never happened before. Holy fucking shit. This is a revelation. Tell us more, Harry, of your fucking family secrets. But make out you as the victim, bud. That's it. I don't know. It was a bit of the weird, you know. It was the weird thing. The one thing I didn't buy was the fact that he said William hit him or physically struck him or anything like that. I've seen Prince William. You know, I've seen that guy, the guy with a 20-year-old face and fucking 60-year-old hairline. Whatever that fucking weird. Just shave the sides, mate. That's all you can do. Also, these days, you're a fucking royal. You've got coin, yeah? You got money. Maybe think about hair plugs, yeah? Be the first royal. Put it out there like that. Be the first royal to get hair plugs. You don't have to have that, you know. Just because your granddad had that haircut and your dad's got that haircut, you don't need that fucking haircut. You know, the fucking... Look at me. If you're watching this video right now, my hair is going ever back. Every day I'm washing more and more of my fucking ever-expanding fucking hairline. Just shave your fucking head. Shave that side bit off. Those side bits, I don't know why you've got, like, you know, it just looks fucking weird. You've got a fucking... Still got a child's face and a fucking... It kind of looks like he's ill. Like he's been in some sort of accident. Or he's flown out the top of a fucking convertible car, landed on the top of his head and just, you know, just head surfed down the road and it's just scalped him. There's corpses lying in the plains of America right now that have, after being scalped by an Indian, Native American, I should say. I apologise. Been scalped by a Native American back in the 1800s, and they have a better fucking hairline than our fucking Prince of Wales. I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, I just didn't buy that bit. I didn't buy the fact William doesn't seem... I don't know. If someone like that, from a privileged background, who looked like that with a baby face and a fucking old man's haircut, started on me, I think all you can do is laugh, isn't it? I know it's different between brothers, but fuck me. You know, Harry killed 25 Afghans. You know, how many's Prince... That's what I want to know. I want to know how many people William has killed. Isn't that the claim he's made? I might have been getting a cup of tea at the time on the documentary. I don't actually remember it from this episode of the documentary, but I've just been reading that one of the revelations is that he's killed 25 Afghans. He's started, you know. I imagine they were fighters, were they? I imagine they weren't women and children. Or that is a hell of a truth to tell. That is, isn't it? Yeah, I was just taking pot shots while I was out there. All the boys were doing it, weren't they? All the boys were taking pot shots at the locals. I managed to bag 25 of the fuckers. I don't know. I'm assuming they were Taliban fighters or something like that, weren't they? 25 is a lot. It's too many. Isn't it? Really? Apparently so, anyway. Apparently so. That's what's been popping up on Twitter. But I must admit, I didn't actually see that in this episode. Maybe there's another episode coming out. Is that it? Is it just one interview, or is it just a procession of interviews now? And then it'll be a book release, and then it'll be another fucking... more revelations you'll never believe. That'll be the next revelatory interview. Will be Prince Harry saying about how the royal family didn't really like the book coming out. Well, you know... Oddly enough, I don't know how they're meant to take it. Definite fucking, you know, definite fucking front row viewing though. I am fully invested in this soap opera. It's art imitating life. Is it, Ben? Or is it just life being turned into art? But yeah, it is, isn't it? It's like, this is getting to the stage now where it's starting to look like The Crown. Even the way they're filming it. Maybe is the documentary company the same as the company that makes The Crown? Because they're almost up to date with The Crown now, aren't they? History is almost caught up with the series is almost caught up with history, I should say. And this could be like the spin-off. Harry, the Wilderness Years. That'll be it, won't it? When he was going to parties dressed as a Nazi. He's done cocaine, by the way. He's cool. That's a way of like garnering attention, isn't it? Like to show how off the rails he was. Hey man, I did a couple of bits of cocaine and banged some old broad in a fucking field. That's the other thing, wasn't it? Oh dear. Share that one, buddy. I'm sure your missus is going to fucking love that story about who you fucking stuck your fucking dick in the first time. Why would you tell people that you banged some old fucking woman in a field? Isn't it? That's something for the kids. Isn't it? They'll be able to watch that when they're older. Think about that fucking royal dick going into some old woman's fanny. Ah, Jesus. That's too revelatory, isn't it? Look, Harry, all that shit about about who you banged and all that sort of shit, leave that out. We just want to know the gossip about your fucking family. I want to know, being an English, British taxpayer, I think we have a right to know the dirt of the royal family. Hang it out there in public. Hang that washing out there. Ah, dear. Yeah, so it's a weird thing. Like, just, yeah. It's all designed to say, isn't it, the whole cocaine thing. Hey, man, I did cocaine. I was off the rails. All right, mate. Yeah, it's easy to do that when you got fucking millions behind you. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who I was. So I thought I'd go out with my posh chums and snort cocaine. Dressed as a fucking Nazi. Ah, dear. Let's have a little bit more tea. I want to know who the old woman is who he banged and lost his virginity to. In my experience, I wouldn't disclose anything like that if I was him. Because although Meghan would say she's okay with it, in my experience, you have to play down anything like that. If you're dating a new woman, obviously they're married. He's not dating a new woman. Obviously he's married. But if you're dating a new woman, in my experience, it's best to play down your fucking background. Give nothing specific about people you've dated. Always say it was kind of a casual thing. It wasn't really, but it just went on for fucking 5 years. Play it down, people. Any guys listening to this, play it down in front of your fucking missus. No, man, like I was just, I was trying to, didn't really meet anyone who I really connected with until I met you, baby. Women don't really want to know the details. And if they do know the details, that shit's going to get stored away and then brought up at the fucking relevant moment. Just when you're not expecting it. Fucking hell, I told her that about 3 years ago. She stored that away, really? I can't even remember what I said to her fucking yesterday. It's one of the benefits of getting older. Anyway, so yeah. So that's that. This saga's going to go on. And I can't wait to see what happens next. It's just fascinating. It's fascinating. It's cringeworthy. There's a little part of myself was dying inside as I was watching it. It just seems like mental health's a big thing now, and he's pitched it down the mental health angle. hasn't he? I'm doing all this, man, because I want to get it out. I want to grow as a person. And everybody and a lot of people now are turning on that because you could never really... Mental health is a fucking delicate subject, particularly for comedy. Because it's sort of like the ultimate taboo. But there seems, there's obviously a spectrum to it. And there are people out there, we all fucking know this, right? Every one of us fucking knows this. People who play the fucking mental health card and there's nothing wrong with them. They're just a bit of a fucking arsehole. But it's hard to tell that, isn't it? That's the thing. It's a difficult one. If you get that fucking wrong, the next minute, you find them fucking strung up by a belt, their own belt. So it's a tough one, isn't it? Between being sympathetic to going, I don't know, bud. I don't know, man. What are you doing with that belt, by the way? Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, so that was that. Fucking hell, we've talked about that for 20 minutes. 20-odd minutes. What else, people? I'll tell you what, I did watch a good film this weekend. That's one thing I did. Really, Ben, did you do that when you should have been doing your podcast? You fucking goddamn cocksucking right, I did. I watched the film, The Banshees of Inisherin. I think I've spelt that right. Said that right. Not spelt that right. I definitely haven't spelt it right where I've written it down on the sheet. This is that's a film. It's on fucking Disney Plus. It's from the same guys who bought. Hey guys, it's from the same guys who did In Bruges. That film. It's a fucking great film. And it's got Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson in it again. It's basically about two friends in Ireland off a fictional sort of like Irish island. And one of them, Brendan Gleeson's character, doesn't want to be friends with Colin Farrell's character anymore. It's a small sort of like community, and then shows like how by not being friends, they sort of like their lives ultimately sort of like implode, or basically how they sort of like destroy themselves whilst also destroying each other. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. It's fucking great. It's dark as fuck. It's funny. It's witty. It's easily the best film I've seen this year so far. 8 days in. Easily the best film I've seen this year. But apparently, and here's the kicker, it's meant to be there's always a fucking metaphor in there, isn't there? It's meant to be like a metaphor or a comment on the Irish Civil War. Which, being an English guy, hey man, who's this British guy? I got that one. Who's this British guy? Hey, check out that British guy. Being an English guy, British guy, I wasn't really aware of the fucking Irish Civil War. Holy fucking shit. I imagine, I didn't realise it had actually escalated to a civil war, you know what I mean, at the start of the 20th century. Obviously, I'm aware of the tensions over there in Ireland with the old religions. But, yeah, it's meant to be a comment on that, basically. Each character representing, or the characters as a whole representing sort of like the Irish situation, and how, not that this improves the film or anything like that. This is just a random bit of knowledge. I'm beginning to sound like those people who go, hey, man, that film's good, but I preferred the book. Oh, fuck off. We can all read, you fucking prick. I hate those people. It's nothing. It is absolutely nothing like the book. All right, you fucking idiots. Yeah? I managed to watch that in fucking 2.5 hours. If you can read a book in 2.5 hours, I take my hat off to you, right? But I can't. I cannot read a book in 2.5 hours. but it's well worth watching the film. I won't give any spoiler alerts, but yeah, the whole aspect. And if you watch it within that knowledge of, there's a sort of scene where like cannons and stuff keep going off in the background, like on the mainland, and people sort of like wistfully look at it. But I just thought it was just really well done. How because we've all been in that fucking situation. We've all been in that fucking situation where you're coming to the end of a friendship or a relationship or something like that, and it's just, it feels weird. You feel like you're forcing it constantly. You know, you're either putting in all the effort, or somebody rings you and you're like, oh, fucking hell, man. This guy, let it go to answer machine, and then you ring him again in like 2-3 days. And you're like, oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. I've been really busy and stuff. Like, anyway, how are you? And you're like, oh, this is going to be fucking 20 minutes of my fucking life. I'm never going to get back. Sometimes you just got to draw a line under it. Cut them off, people. This is how you get in the situation doing a podcast at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, yeah. On your own. I don't know. But it's well worth a watch, people. Fucking great performances from Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and I don't know who the young lad is in it. There's a young lad in it who is fucking fantastic. I couldn't. I think he's about, I don't know. It's difficult to tell. 20, something like that. The guy's 20 or something like that in it, or meant to play 20. But he sort of like hangs around with Colin Farrell's character, and he's part of the pub thing. He's fucking brilliant. Really good. He's the policeman's son in it. But there's some really great performances in it. Well worth a fucking watch, people. There we go. We've gone from the fucking royals, the royal fucking chatty, gossipy, fucking Deirdre of the fucking sun. Is he a prince anymore? I don't know. Prince Harry? Has he dropped the title now? I'm not sure. I think he has, hasn't he? We've gone from that, blabbermouth fucking Paris car crash soon to be, to a fucking cracking film. And that is episode 255 of the Ben Briggs. Oh, fucking hell, we fucked it up. Of the Ben Briggs podcast. Right there, people. Right there. You've just listened to it. Smashed it out. Yeah, that's it. All done and dusted. I hope the rest of your weekend goes well. I've only got about an hour left here, people, of my weekend. Yours may be over by the time this comes out. Have a good working week, people. It's fucking Monday morning tomorrow. Wake up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, have that shower, scream at the top of your lungs how you don't want to go into work, and then go into work. Earn that living. I will be back on Tuesday, motherfuckers. Have a good start to your week. I shall speak to you then. Take care.